because while we're here in Beit She'an, I want to teach you about Jerusalem. Okay? Do you see what's happened here? You've got the Old Testament site, and then you've got the Greek Roman period site. Same thing happens in Jerusalem, only it's a little bit different. Here you have the tell sticking up and the Greek and Roman city around. In Jerusalem, what we're going to talk about is you have the Old Testament site into the New Testament site beneath, and the later Roman site over the top. So, and the city right next to it on page 112. This is the city, or a portion of the city of the time of Jesus. Herod the Great built this city, or he expanded the city. So do you see it? That's his palace over there to the right, and I'm specifying a place in this city, but there was the Roman city, the Roman period city of Herod the Great, but it was still a Jewish city at that time. Does that make sense? The Romans are ruling over it; they have authority over it, which is why Herod's got his palace right here. But it's still a Jewish city. A Jewish city isn't going to be laid out like that, is it? No. That's a Greek or a Roman city. And so the city of Jerusalem that Jesus lived, and the events that happened to him, is totally different. It's a Jewish city that was destroyed in 70 AD. So now you got to turn that that Jewish city in the Roman period into rubble. And then along comes a Roman emperor named Hadrian. Okay, and he comes in 130 AD. So just under 100 years after Jesus' resurrection and ascension. And so he comes to the ruins of Jerusalem, that Jewish city of Jerusalem, and he's going to build a Roman city. Is the Roman city going to look anything like the Jewish city underneath it?
Not at all.
So he takes in and he flattens it out. He puts fill dirt in and everywhere, and flattens the city out to do it. And then he's going to choose, because that's how you build a Roman city. He's going to choose where his main temple is going to be. And then he's going to lay out the grid of the rest of the city around that main temple. You see that? And in this picture on 112, you see where his main temple is. We're going to go all through this in Jerusalem, but this, I think, will visually help you understand that, because Jerusalem is occupied, so you can't see this city like you can here. Okay, so here, so he laid out his city, and then he laid out his Cardo Maximus. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. So do you see this? This is the Cardo Maximus of the city that Hadrian built. He didn't call it Jerusalem. He called it Aelia Capitolina. Aelia Capitolina. We're going to be learning that. I want you to know that. Aelia Capitolina. He's the one that changed the name of Judea to Palestine. Yeah, okay. So the Cardo Maximus here goes down. You can see it there with the pillars on either side. And then on that right side, at the end there was a temple here. All that's left really are the steps that go up into that temple. Okay, and in Aelia Capitolina, he put his main temple there, and then he laid out his Cardo Maximus to take you to that temple. Does that make sense? He also put a shrine. Let's see, maybe that's on 102. No, because I'm hiding that because I go over that later. But he put a shrine up on the Temple Mount with a statue of Jupiter and himself. Okay? So why did he put that temple right there? Because underneath it is the tomb of Jesus. And the crucifixion place of Jesus. So if you're looking at Aelia Capitolina right now, the tomb and crucifixion place of Jesus would be at the end of the Cardo Maximus, and that temple that comes right off of the Cardo Maximus. Okay, because what goal was Christianity was going on. He wants to subplant. People are going there and they're worshiping Jesus. This is the place that Jesus rose from the dead. This is the place where he died for the sins of the world, and he's wanting to subplant that worship place with pagan worship. So he puts up a Venus statue and he puts up a temple to Jupiter, which we'll be talking about, so that on the very place that Jesus died and was buried and rose from the dead, now in Aelia Capitolina with the ruins of Jerusalem underneath, they are worshiping Venus and Jupiter, where Jesus did the greatest events in human history.
Amen.
Okay? So the problem now with Jerusalem is Jerusalem today is still in the basic configuration plan of Hadrian's Aelia Capitolina. It's just that we keep going up on the layers with the Byzantines. In fact, on 112, look, if you look down to the left, that's a model of Byzantine Jerusalem. Look at how Byzantine Jerusalem looks compared to Aelia Capitolina. Do you see how it's the same layout? The only difference is instead of a temple, we have a church commemorating those places. Okay, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Now when we get to Jerusalem, it's not going to look anything like this. And you can only see the pieces of the Old Testament city if you dig way down to that layer. And you only see the time of Jesus if you dig way down to that layer. Not as far down, but still quite a ways down. And yet the pattern of Aelia Capitolina is what everybody's still walking through, and we'll see that pattern where we're there. But while we're here, I want you to visually see that. I want you to take, again, a mental image of that, so that, because we'll see just little pieces of the Cardo Maximus that have been excavated in Jerusalem, and then we'll understand that we're on a Cardo Maximus that once looked just like that. Well, actually, it looked much better than that, but if it was excavated out, the ruins would look like that. Okay?